Yes. This is the Completist, man. I'm a huge fan of Stephen King and his whole universe. The Shining is one of my favorite books. And I just want to expound on some things, considering that Welcome to Derry is in such good standing. In the original movie, Dick Halloran, you know what I'm saying, he runs into my man Danny. And Danny has the shine, just like Dick Halloran, just in a different way. But they both can see dead people, and they both can sense certain entities and powers, you know what I'm saying, as their life progresses. But Dick Halloran, I told him that there are people that have the shine, but there are also things, buildings, places that contain the shine as well. And he kind of expounds on there being a lot of darknesses and things in this world that are incomprehensible in a way, you know what I'm saying, but with practice and with training and just all around awareness, he can get better at it. And my man Dick, you know, just like Danny, he can see dead people, he can read and sense things, and he's able to talk and communicate with these other entities. Kind of like John Coffey from the Green Mile. He has the shine as well, but his powers is versatile. You know, he senses darkness in people. He can kind of tell the future a little bit, and he can heal. You know what I mean? But he isn't the brightest person in the world with limited education and family, so nobody believed that he was anything special, except for the few people that actually witnessed it. But yeah, he's also a character who has the shine. You know, to understand how Stephen King's universe works. Because like I had stated in a post in my group and on my page, even though a lot of his stories, you know what I'm saying, aren't in Maine or a part, and they're in, you know, different areas of the world and the country, majority of his main storylines start off in Maine. And I believe that is a gate, you know, that Maine itself is a gate, or the gate is in Maine to get to the Dark Tower, which we're going to be getting a series of soon, created by Michael Flanagan. And of course, my girl Carrie White, who resided in Chamberlain, Maine, which isn't far from Derry. And she has the shine as well, but her powers is based more on telekinesis. She can move anything, control anything, destroy things, implode things. Hey, that's her ability. Very scary, classic film. But she also has the shine. And like my man Dick Halloran said and told Danny, and was told by his grandmother, a lot of people have the shine. A lot of people don't even know that they have it. But there are some people with the shine that's brighter than a lot of people would even imagine. And Dick Halloran was able to meet with a child that was one of those bright shines. You know what I mean? And he ended up sticking with him even after death. And when we talking about Maine being not necessarily a nexus point, but a gate through to the Dark Tower, we have to talk about my man Andre Lenoge, a great wizard, you know what I'm saying, thousands of years old, who's done helly chaos, caused helly anarchy in the name of just being able to do so, just getting the power off of people's sin and fears. But this man he created the greatest storm of the century, you know what I mean? And it was on an island that's not that far from Derry. You know what I mean? It seems like Maine has been, of course, you know, Stephen King is from there as well, but in his universe, he created it to be a place where a lot of amazing things happen. And and his whole thing was, he isn't immortal, but he can't live for a long time. So he needs an heir. He needs somebody to take over his work, even as heinous and sadistic it may be. But yes, great wizard, and he's a mystery in itself. You know what I'm saying? We don't know where he gets his power from. We just know that he's been doing this shit in Maine for thousands of years. You know what I mean? And he's trying to pass that torch. You know, but with this type of power in Stephen King's universe, it makes you wonder. You know, it just makes you wonder, and I recommend that everybody start reading his books, especially Dark Tower series. Especially the Dark Tower series. But yeah, to get to the point, a bunch of stand users from the Firestarter, the stand, there's not every story that Stephen King creates has a Shine user, but there is a connection in some way, shape, or form. Alien Pet Cemetery, a bunch of people in the stand with the super flu. Show is crazy. Flag is a menace, and you can see a lot of him in Dark Tower. And this is the nexus, you know what I'm saying, that connects Stephen King's entire universe from Derry to Castle Rock, Cujo, Pet Cemetery, everything, The Shining, anything that you can think of that a Stephen King story is connected to this Dark Tower. And it is held up between 12 beams that are considered the Guardians. And the only one that we really know about is Maturin, who is the giant turtle, and a mechanic bear. I forgot I honestly can't think of his name right now. But their impact and their importance is invaluable. But this field of roses and this Dark Tower, this is the nexus of it all. And like I said, I'm a fan. I'm not obsessed, so, you know, feel free to, you know, chime in, add some discourse, add some fun facts to the comments, because I love discussing these things. There are great characters in this story, from Roland and Dark Tower. Like I said, you have to really dive in to understand who these characters are and what type of shine they possess and the evils and the powers that be that they have to face. Welcome to Derry is just the tip of the iceberg, honestly, when you talking about entities that are beyond, you know, understanding. You know, when you're talking about great power that can't even really be comprehended. It can only be seen as evil or some sort of absolute. Chime in, Completist approve.